Sanibonani bafethu, ninjani? Thina siyaphila, lichona njani? Themba ukuthi lonke li-right and themba ukuthi ivili lenu beli-right and belimnandi and beli-productive and yeah, linjani kodwa? No, so guys, I know on my last video I came up with like a kind of discussion, right? I was discussing a situation. Well, you may be well, I was expecting that I was going to have like a discussion with you guys and just hear your opinions and what your thought process was on this one subject that I brought up. Labe ngikhuluma khona nge-art, the media, just art, the culture yabo Bulawayo. So in that same video, one of the main points that I said in that video was I felt like we as creatives and artists from Bulawayo don't really do have like a platform that is as substantial as our counterparts, AREN, my favorite people. You guys been doing amazing work. I've seen like a lot of creatives from over there, like I said on my last video, seen a lot of artists, musicians, creatives, designers, getting the work in. Amazing stuff. So I'm still on that exact same subject, guys. And then sometime like 2 weeks ago, I was supposed to meet up with an art peer. Let me call him that. An art peer that it said that we're going to sit down, have a kind of conversation. It never really happened. Fortunately, he got busy because life happens, and when it was supposed to happen this week as well, something else happened. Also kind of like ngiyagula then, but also but I'm playing sharp. Doesn't really matter. That's out of topic. But anyway, so yeah, I want to keep this one like very short so that you guys can just go and like watch it quickly. It's I'm just trying to touch on the subject of procrastination and productivity generally, because that is something that I've been like I've been struggling with a lot for a very long time, for a very, very, very long time. But I find myself as being one person that's like always trying to, share like theories and ideas about like art and how to like venture into the art market itself in a professional like sense, and also in an independent like kind of forum where you can where you're allowed to explore that industry itself, like art and sales and how to make good art that's impactful, right? I always find myself sharing information or stuff like that. But the craziest thing about it is that me and our face, I ask guys to program, serious. Sometimes like I'll come up with like ideas and I say, I would share if I had anything on the table right now and if I had enough time, because it's a lot of stuff I could tell you guys, eh? But I usually do come up with like stuff like, art ideas or creatives like ideas and media stuff that I even come up with. Then I never really get to doing them. Then after time, we start talking about umuntu cheetah or sisiyazi mongenza A, B, C, and D. I wanna get this all like your shit should actually sorry for that language. Your stuff should fly, you know what I mean? And then I found that I do that a lot, but I don't ever really do, like when umuntu it's like is all talking, no doing nothing, So like there's all talk and no walk. So that's who I've mostly been like half my life. I know what it is, but I'm coming to understand it. I do know what it is. It's why I'm bringing that to the table. That it is procrastination, it is laziness. If masingafuna ukusebenzisa lelo bizo lelo or leyo gama lelo, ngoba umuntu ma livila guys kumele sikhulume ukuthi livila. So in my case, yeah, livila number one him. So but you know, whilst that's still the case, I mean, I also believe in a very cosmic like understanding of how things work, which is sometimes you take time to do certain things not because you're lazy or procrastinating per se, but sometimes it could just be like the universe saying, hey, now is not the time. And then you try and push it and it doesn't work, right? And then that now pushing yourself into doing something that you don't really want to do leads to one common thing, like usually, and that usually is depression, right? That is accompanied by you like losing interest completely. But the main point is you get depressed, right? Now you lose interest in that particular like thing you're trying to get into. So I will also say that, you know, whilst we're all ambitious and we also like would like to be like hardworking people and productive in our lives and positive people, right? It's also important to also remember that all of the stuff that we do, media, fashion or art, whatever it is that we're doing, right? There's certain times the way it's going to be exciting if it's being fruitful, you know, for you. Like let's say if you're making money off of designing clothing, or if you're an artist, like, well, you know, like in my case I paint and then or if you are a creative, like a online creative something, or if you're a graphic designer and stuff like that, right? If that kind of work or creative space generates like a sense of like financial like security, like more sharp yabona into yakhona ukwenzela imali, like it's kuba nzima ukuthi i-interest yakho injani try chabalale, right? So into eqhakathekileyo guys ukuthi asingena uba amavila, right? Mina ndivila, yes, number one yimi, ne? When I know vida, only vida number 2, so that makes 2 of us. Anyway, I don't know if you guys mind if I just pause this for a sec. Yeah, sorry guys, being sitting Lande, I'm a side classes. Ngizama ukuthi sithole i-lighting e-sharp, so ngihleli ngikhangele ilanga, so yeah. Anyway, so bensithini, yes besikhuluma ngobuvila ne, like ukuthi iningi lethu singamavila number 1, but laba aba-productive bakhona abangasingamavila, abantu abakhutheleyo abavukayo ekuseni besenze lento abayifunayo. Someone once told me ukuthi, you know, if you wake up to something that you love on a daily basis, right, you have far more opportunities of actually achieving your goals in life and generally just being a happier person, which like your happiness is your health and to start with. So but see, if you wake up to doing something that you love on a daily basis, it stops to become work, it starts to become fun, you know, like something that you're doing that makes you happy, right? So it makes you mentally like healthy. And then second thing that happens is if you're fortunate enough to even start like, you know, bringing in money from doing that, then that's even a bonus, you know what I mean? And then but into eqhakathekile ukuthi mawusuyenza phela imali yakhona faka phela abanye abantwana la ubenkini, you understand, la ubedle njengawo, you know what I mean? That's the one thing I'm busy trying to point out in all of this. Ukuthi okay sharp, when I'm all sidla something angazi faka phela abanye abantwana la ubedle, you know what I mean? So like it's like this is what we mean when we're saying give back to the community. This is why that first video I had made basically it was supposed to provoke, status quo. That's what it's supposed to do. It didn't really do that, but it's cool. I suppose was uzonda yabo, but ngabe thiwa umntwana owazi uzonda kubonakale bhale or hle ngikhwaphe kawana uthi hey lina hey yenza into ezikhanya la. So but then unfortunately I'm not really that person. So sharp. Anyway, so I'm still yet to see some people say if they know anyone that is, or if there's anyone that anyone wants to, if there's someone that wants to put someone right on a pedestal and say, no, this guy's from, fancy words, skies, blues, or Bulawayo, and they're big in like this, media space or creative world or art, right? Please let me know about it, right? I still want to hear it. I would love to hear that, because it's very important, guys, to have people like that in our cities and in our communities, that are influential, that have sort of even made it in life, and that helps us. Yeah, well, we see. That's just okay, fine. If somebody's doing this, it's like when you watch sports, like if you're gonna be Michael Jordan, you should have watched Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? It's like that's the whole thing. It's like why most kids play basketball would be like I love Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, but what? So mokse boring so maybe ukuthi ubukele o Peter Ndlovu yabo la ufuna uba ngisuku zonke kusasa la ube lebizwe linjalo uthi kuthiwa ara bizwe lami kuthiwa nguPeter Ndlovu, you understand? Yeah, ibizwe lami kuthiwa ngisuku zonke, understand? Ngihlohla every day eBF laphana bangazi vele yabo. So those are like influential like people that I'm speaking about, but except now I'm making examples of people in like sports. But I'm just saying, in our culture and specifically the art and creative side of the world in our city, we are missing that. So I'm just saying, can we develop a kind of a culture that allows for us to explore and create and be influential and have an impact, make impactful work. And if you're an artist or designer or a media person that's maybe even in that workspace and you're pretty much like struggling with I don't know how to get about doing stuff, right? I'm not gonna say that I know a lot. I'm not gonna say that I know everything, but I do know a lot. Yes, I don't know everything. That saying that says there's a saying that says you can do anything but not everything, right? And then there's some people that generally tend to feel like they can do everything but not anything, right? So in my case, that's who I am. Like I can do pretty much everything, right? Yes, I know it sounds like maybe I'm a super talented person, but I'm just saying, like, if I put my heart into doing something, yes, I can do it, right? But I can't do anything. That's what I'm trying to get at. So that's what I'm saying. Would see like you're an artist and a creative in that in that manner. It'll be great if you are like looking for advice, right? I can share that. I know a couple of things, especially in the art and media world. So you could ask questions. I'll hook you up with what I can. And then laba abalama comments out like babefuna ukuthi benikeze abantu abafana lathi kade discuss manje ukuthi kulamavila koBulawayo yabo. Ivila lakhona kuqala yimi. So let's just we'll be happy. I'm pretty sure we'll be happy. Well, I would love to hear from you guys. Say, hey, how can you help me, from like peer to peer or whichever way, like, because that's how it works, right? That is what community is at the end of the day. And it's like your growth becomes my growth, and then my growth becomes your growth, like simultaneous. Try nigga and nigga. So yeah, sure, guys would say But again, guys, it was lovely chatting with you. I'm sorry it took so long to make another video, but I've been really trying to think. Uh, um, well, one of the things I was expecting was I would have sort of gotten like commentary for my last video, which I hardly did, right? But I'm also grateful for the people that viewed it, which is amazing. That's great. And then another thing was, it was basically that I was expecting to give you guys this like interview, because I know my boy, when I start speaking to him, so, and then he just couldn't make time, and then like obviously like family stuff and work happened, and but now I promise that when I do sit down with him, I will share that video with you guys, and you can let me know what you guys think. But anyway, thanks for checking this video out. You do, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.